Welcome to the Opinionated Aussies.
Adrian's a wanker. We'll get that out of the way.
Oh, fuck, you beat me to it.
I'm not, my turn. So welcome back, everyone. It's good to have both Jordan and Aden here. How are we going, fellas?
Bloody fantastic.
Fantastic. Aden, I couldn't hear you over Jordan. What'd you say?
I said, yeah, not bad, mate.
Not bad. Well, before we get into today's topic, operations are done. I'm feeling so much better. Woo! How's it been for you two since the last recording?
Pretty fucking hectic, but it's good to see you transitioning, Adrian. It's good your operations are done. You're now male to female. I'm proud you're coming out of the closet, mate. It's so good to hear you're so up in arms and the world is your oyster, mate. It's so good to hear it.
Is this payback for me taking the Adrian as a wanker from you?
Yes.
No, I would never do that. I'll take Adrian as a wanker because that's actually more accurate. Don't do that.
Well, what do you mean? You just had operations on your penis.
Yeah, technically, no, not my penis. I had operations on my kidneys and whatnot. The penis just suffered for it. Poor bastard. But I'm all feeling... I mean, Jordan saw me yesterday. He can attest. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot happier about myself right now. So, yeah. What about you, Aiden? What have you been up to since the last one?
Back at work this week, so that was fucking interesting.
They still running you around like a headless chook?
Yeah, but it should be the end now, so should be back at one shop now, not three. So fingers crossed, everything stays normal.
Hopeful fucking Lee, eh? Alright, today we've got a rather spicy topic. We've got conspiracy theories today. So, I've got my tinfoil hat. You guys got yours?
What? My tinfoil hat, yeah.
Jordan, what are you... pay attention, what are you doing?
Oh, I just was in a whole another mind. I just heard hat, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Oh, tinfoil hat. And I was like, "Right."
Where are you?
That reminds me of a joke, though. You know how girls always want a knight in shining armor?
Instead, they get a weirdo.
They get an idiot in tinfoil.
Yeah. Alright, so let's kick this off. We were originally supposed to pick one and study it, but none of us did that really. So I guess we'll just start. Who wants to kick us off with a conspiracy they know of?
9/11.
Alright, let's go. 9/11. Alright, so...
Well, it's a date.
Yes, it's a date, but we know what you mean by the 9/11 conspiracy. First off, want to preface, this was a rather devastating blow to America back in the day, obviously. How many people was it that passed away during this?
200,000, I think.
200? That doesn't sound right. Hold up. But yeah. Hang on, here we go.
I think it was that, or like immediate.
No, it wasn't even 10,000. It was just shy of 3,000 people. So nearly 3,000 people lost their lives.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that wasn't. What was it? It was. So 19 of those people alone were the hijackers as well. So 19 people who caused it. The other 2,977 were all victims. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, right.
So, what about this conspiracy theory, Jordan, do you know of?
I don't know whether it's information or misinformation, but let's just go for what I know is that some of the steel beams that held up the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers, whatever, looked like they were cut on a 45-degree angle. The flashpoint from the conspiracy theory, which I think has been debunked, but don't quote me on it. There's a flashpoint that the jet fuel burnt at cannot melt the reinforced steel beams that they use for the structural integrity of the building. With the Pentagon that got flown into, apparently there's like 280 or something security cameras or CCT cameras around the Pentagon, and not one of them picked up on the plane crashing into the Pentagon. A lot of people are saying the way the buildings fell, if you're getting hit by a aeroplane and, something of that size, the building should, to a degree, fall over as it's like tumbling down, not actually just tumble, vertically.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, okay, that sort of makes sense. Because when they do controlled demolitions, the building comes down top to bottom. There's no movement. It just comes down.
Kind of like implodes upon itself.
Yeah.
Well, so you're going with there was no planes theory, because there's multiple theories about this.
Well, there were planes because you could fucking visually see them.
Right,
but
gotcha.
just the events that happened to it. Apparently, old mate that had bought the buildings only a couple of months earlier got them evaluated under insurance. So it could have been like an insurance fraud type of fucking situation, because the buildings are that old and apparently they were just fucked. So he just wanted to, fuck the buildings off, and what better way to get a insurance payout than a terrorist attack?
That's kind of messed up. Because like nearly 3,000 people died just for an insurance claim. Like, that's next levels of fucked, if that's true.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few theories I've read here. There's one of my favorite, like, I'm not going to say favorite because that's a bit, how you going. But one of them is the Flight 93 theory, because there was originally 4 planes hijacked that day. 3 of them made contact. The 4th one it crashed elsewhere because the passengers were able to take back the plane in a way. But it still ended up crashing. And it landed far away, but the theory behind it is the army knew about what was going to happen, but because the plane was taken off course, the plane got shot down. And the reason that this theory came about is because there's some debris from that plane that landed so far away that the way that they say it crashed makes no sense. But if it got shot down, makes 100% sense. So, there's one for you. Army knew what was coming.
That wouldn't surprise me, like, the National Guard or whatever in America, saw this rogue plane or got wind of it or whatever and just went, what? It's, it's a TV show, I think it's called Scorpion, where old mate's got a hierarchy than Einstein, but he says, in order to save hundreds of lives, you need to sacrifice one or whatever.
Yeah.
And it could be that sort of scenario. To save thousands of lives, you kill a plane full of people, which, every life is worth something. So, don't take that away. But, yeah, I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, there's fucking hundreds of... Well, not hundreds. There's heaps of theories about 9/11, and there's so many people that believe them, do research into them, study them, make documentaries on them even. It's actually kind of insane. And to think that this happened about 21 years ago. No?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I can actually still remember I was at Gray Smith State School. I was still in primary school when it happened. And the teachers actually put, that TV that they, what's the name, to every classroom every now and then?
Yeah.
Bringing that. Yeah, and it was actually, they were actually showing the news of it. Like all the teachers in like our block of classrooms. I think there was only 3 or 4 classrooms in that block. But yeah, we all huddled into the one room just to watch the news on this happening.
Yeah, it was a...
I was, I can't remember, probably grade 4 or 5 or something, still in primary school, and yeah, we were watching it. I was just, just thinking back on it now, I'm like, holy shit.
It blows your mind when you see something like that happen, kind of in real time, I guess. Because, I mean, you were a kid, we were all kids at this point, so we had never seen or heard of anything like this by this point in our lives. And here was the news just showing it, and we were like, whoa. We didn't even understand the implications of it when the buildings went down. We just thought, the buildings fell. Awesome. But that led to more deaths. At the time, we were not aware of this. What about you, Aden? Jordan's had the stand for a bit. What do you know about conspiracy theories surrounding 9/11?
Oh, look, there's you guys have covered pretty much the main ones of it. But before we go into more conspiracy theories about it, I just want to I don't know if you guys have heard the joke from Jimmy Carr about 9/11.
Oh no,
Jordan, have you heard it?
No, I don't think I have.
I heard Jimmy Carr. I'm expecting this to be awful. Carry on.
So to put a bit of reference to this, this was the roast of Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah.
Pete Davidson's father passed away in 9/11. He was a firefighter.
Oh no.
Now, this is quoted quote for quote what Jimmy Carr says. So he says, "I'm appalled that people would come here and make jokes about the sacrifice Pete's heroic father made on 9/11. So see, it starts off very, very nice, right? Then he goes to say, this is not the roast of Pete Davidson's father. That was in 2001.
Oh.
Oh, that's great.
No.
Fucking
hell. Oh, I don't think Pete Davidson would have enjoyed that at all.
That Jimmy said to Pete, I'm going to say this. This is what I want to say for a joke on you. Are you okay with it? He made sure he was good with it first.
First, yeah.
Right.
Well, you'd have to, because if he didn't...
That would have just been a bit of a low fucking blow. Holy shit.
It is a bit of a low blow still, Adrian, but fuck, it's funny.
Yeah, it kind of is. Alright. Well, Jordan's taken off with our 9/11. I think Jordan started strong, actually. Good job, Jordan.
Thanks. Always start strong, mate. It's towards the end where I don't seem to finish.
Yeah, we know. Aden. Aden, you're up. You got a conspiracy theory for us, mate?
Oh, there's heaps, mate. There's heaps.
Well, just start with one, mate.
Let's start with 7.
What?
7 conspiracy theories. What do you reckon?
Straight
off. What about the moon landing?
Oh, me and Jordan were just talking about this a little bit ago. Yep, let's get into the moon landing. I'm guessing moon landing was faked is what you're going for?
Well, yeah. Allegedly.
Right, and...
that's the conspiracy theories out there, but...
Alright, and what have you got to talk about with it? Let's go. Let's see what you know about this.
I know a lot of people are saying that it was a hoax and it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was something to do with... I'm going to have to look into it.
Yeah, I'm going to butt in for a sec.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute myself for a sec. Go on AFK.
Okay. Anyway,
Wait, Jordan's gone.
Yeah, he's just going AFK. I think he still has his headphones in, but he's doing something else. So
right, okay, I got you. I thought he was going to chime in on the moon landing.
I mean, I can start you off if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of theories that give way to the fact that the moon landing was fake. One of the first ones that people always seem to go for is the flag in the photos.
the
So-
one, yeah.
So the flag seems to be blowing in the wind. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no such thing as wind on the moon, correct? Aden?
No, to be honest, is there no such thing as wind? Like,
I'll quickly look into it.
I don't know, because I know that was one of the ones, is that there was...
There we go. So, does the moon have wind? The moon has a very thin atmosphere, so it cannot trap heat or insulate the surface. There is no wind, clouds, rain, snow, or storms. That there is a day-night cycle, because you know the fact that facing the sun, away from the sun, yada yada. There's also extreme differences in temperatures depending on where the sun is shining. With that in mind, that means that there is no way in hell that the photos that we see of the American flag being planted into the moon should have happened. The flag should not be blowing in the wind. Now, people have said that what they did was they made a plastic flag that looked like it was blowing in the wind and put that in the moon. But why would they do that is the big question. So, I guess that's one way to start us off.
But if you... Now, look, I'm going to send a photo to the chat.
Yeah.
So this is one of the photos from the moon landing.
Yeah, if you can learn how to post a photo.
Going, I reckon.
Yeah.
There. Now. So that's coming through now. Now, if you look at where it's positioned when it eventually comes through.
Yep.
So where it's positioned, what if they've got something on the ship thing next to them that's causing it to blow?
Interesting. All right.
Okay, I'm back now.
I might have another one. Welcome back. I might have another one for you. Just give me a hot minute. And boop. So let's have a look at this one I'm sending through. It should come through in just a moment. There we go. There's another photo. Different quality, but you can kind of see what I mean. It looks very different. You can still... actually, it looks like it's in a different spot to where the shuttle is, actually. If it's from the same landing, then... yeah. So have a look at that and do some comparisons on the flag being enough evidence that the moon landing was fake. That actually
it looks like it's in the same position. The photos are just on different sides. Because if you look where the flag is to the left of it, there's the shuttle. If you look at the photo I sent, to the left of it, there's the shuttle. Or to the right, because it's on the other...
yeah, alright, I see what you... yeah, alright. Let's see what you mean. But the problem with that... wait, no. They look like they're the exact same, like... wave? No, they're not even the same wave. So yeah, that flag is moving. Right. Interesting. Alright. Well, what other evidence is there that the moon landing was fake, Aden, since you're doing research?
Well, there's... just going to chime in. There's a documentary on Netflix where they reckon that the moon landing was actually staged in Area 51 because they think,
Yeah.
you know, back in the day where you could cut and, superimpose images one on top of the other, that the mountains you see behind you are actually where they've dug sort of craters, I guess, in the ground in Area 51 and sort of smoothed it over. Mm-hmm. So it does. So to make it look like it doesn't like happen like it happens naturally. But looking at the two photos, they 100% look like they're taken 50 years apart, not from the same fucking era. But also, look at the photo that Aden sent. You've got all the boot tracks. And look at them. They're all different. There's two different types of boot tracks. Now, whether he's got a a tripod, and taking photos from a tripod, or there's a separate person there, but the boot tracks are completely different.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. And look how many boot tracks they are. Like, I'm not, and I guess another a string to the conspiracy theory. That conspiracy theory is that, you know, we went to the moon in fucking, I don't know, the 60s or whatever. How come we haven't been there back there since? And, you know, some people that I've spoken to about it is, you know, they're saying, you know, what's the need to go back there? You know, it costs fucking X amount of dollars to even launch a space shuttle. And, you know, we can't bring them shuttles back to Earth safely yet. So why would we risk that? And I'm like, yeah, I can understand that, but it would also, you know, give us a better perspective of the world if, you know, we did set a fucking rover on Mars or whatever and capture Earth at different times from not Mars, from the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree 100% with that one. I mean, you've brought up the tracks, and I'm looking at all these footprints, and you've completely fucking distracted me. So I just keep staring at them, and I keep seeing like more details in them and whatnot. Like, there's one of them alone that looks like there's two footprints literally overlapping with each other near the bottom.
Yeah, I think I did see that one, yeah.
And, like, why would Neil Armstrong... Did he stumble, or was there a second person? Was there even another person on this? I'm pretty sure there was more than one person on this expedition. Hold on.
A few, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think there was. So wasn't there Buzz Aldrin as well?
Yeah.
I'm having a look, but how many of them actually got out and walked around? That's... because that would mean that would explain the multiple different footprints.
Yeah, just the way, and also just the way the footprints are as well.
Yeah. Okay. I need a list of the
do we know how much gravity there is on the moon?
I can do a quick Google search and find out.
Because if he's not holding on to anything, doesn't look like he's floating at all. So
the moon's gravity is a 1.62. What is that conversion? What is that? Huh? Sorry, I do not know what this measurement for the gravity is. But it's about... I'd say it's about 7 times lighter than Earth's gravity. Because Earth's is 9.8 and the moon's is 1.6. I don't know what the measurements are, but I don't know what the measurement numerical things mean. I know what the numbers are, so I'll say the numbers. That will do. So
I wouldn't. To me, that looks like meters per second squared.
Meters per second squared. Is that how they measure gravity? Interesting. Okay. I've actually never known how they measure gravity. I've never had to find this out before.
How heavy is the moon's gravity? Is 16.6 pounds.
Yep.
So 2.2 pounds per kilo.
Shit, righto. So to give an exact measurement, the Earth is 6.12 times heavier in gravity. So yeah, he shouldn't probably. I don't think he should be floating away with that gravity, but if he put enough force into his jump, he could probably never come down. It is possible if he gets high enough.
Yeah.
So interesting. That's a good thing to bring up too, Jordan. Fucking hell, this is Aden's one, and you're killing it. Good job.
Yeah, look, I do dabble in some conspiracies. Some are fucking really good. Some are
Quite
really
shit.
fucking shit. But anyway.
Well, this was Aden. So, anything else you want to add to the moon landing, Aden, or has Jordan stolen the show on you?
I've been going through it a bit, and I found a website that debunks conspiracy theories.
Oh, lovely. Let's get into it.
So there is the conspiracy theory number 3. Why are there no stars in pictures of the NASA moon landings? Right?
Yeah.
All right. It says the reason for this is if you're going to take a photo of a brightly lit scene, your camera's shutter speed needs to be fast and your aperture incredibly small in that situation. Faint objects like stars simply aren't going to show up.
That's actually true.
Yeah, well, that's logical. If you think of nighttime mode on your mobile phone, right, the shutter speed actually decreases, so it opens up, right? So instead of it being, zero point 0.1 milliseconds for a click, normally for it to open and close the shutter and take that photo, when you go night mode, it increases that. So it lets a lot more light in from just, from the area you're trying to take a photo.
Yep.
So you're doing that, you won't be able to see big bright distances further away.
Yeah.
That's why, if you turn on night mode and point it up at the sky, you won't really see any stars. But you use a normal photography mode, yeah, you'll get them.
Keep in mind as well that.
But also, too, the technology that they had for cameras back in the day is
quite shit.
Fuck all.
Yeah. I was going to say that, then I was going to let Aden speak, and then you finished it off for me. So, sorry, Aden, didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. I just want to say, look, some conspiracy theories I can understand why they'd want to, say this didn't happen or this happened a certain way. I don't understand why we wanted to shut down the idea that we went to the moon. Like, I don't understand it.
Well, I think it's because skepticism is a very, it's a very real thing that really controls how people function and how they operate. They're not going to believe everything they see or hear, so they immediately start looking for any and all things that prove that it's fake or that it never happened. Because sometimes it's because of denial. Like, some people are just straight up do not want to believe it at all. Other people just, it's a very complex thing.
Speaking of people not wanting to believe anything, do you reckon we're done with the moon one? Because I've just thought of another fucking good one.
I mean, yeah, we can move on to another one if you've got one.
Speaking of dickheads,
actually, just give me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
After every conspiracy theory we go through, right?
Yep.
I want to know you guys' opinion. Do you think 9/11 was staged or was it not?
I do not think it was staged.
I don't think it was staged.
Too many people were lost for me to believe that it was staged. If it was staged, that's fucked. But no, it was just an awful terrorist attack that cost too many people's lives. One life lost is enough, but nearly 3,000? No.
Okay, so what about the moon landing? Did we ever go there, or was it staged?
Well, thanks to Aden, I lean more towards it being real, but I will admit there was times where I thought that, the initial moon landing, I believe, was fake. But then, Jordan, you brought up that we haven't been back, so who knows? Kind of on the fence about it, personally.
Aden?
I think it was real. We've got the facilities to be able to go back. So the question why haven't we is very good, but I don't think it was staged.
Right. So me and Aden are split. What about you, Jordan? You haven't said your thing on either of those two. What do you think?
I'm still skeptical on 9/11, just for the fact, they said it was, I can't remember that terrorist that America invaded in the Middle East to get him, but whatever. I, to a degree, think that America not somewhat staged it, but the powers beyond our realm. Like, I've seen some underbelly, dirty type sort of stuff, in my life. And I know some very rough people that you would never think that this sort of shit happens in the world, but it does. we're just a drop in the ocean, in a sense, to what we know, to what actually goes on in the world. You know, we know of human trafficking and abductions and all that sort of stuff, but in the realm of the world, we only know of it. We don't know the mass that it has. So I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Now, if America did want to go into the Middle East to get all the oil, which a lot of people are saying, that would have been a good excuse to go to the Middle East to find a terrorist organization that done this. So I'm still skeptical about it. You know, one life lost is too many, in my opinion. But I'm still skeptical of 9/11 being a terrorist attack.
Yep.
When, you know, I was obviously too young to know fucking anything about it.
Yeah.
So whether America did something beforehand to provoke that terrorist attack, that could have been it. But with that being said, you know, I still think America may have quote unquote staged it so they could go into the Middle East, fuck the Middle East up and get the oil that they can, because that's what America does.
Yeah.
So that's my reasoning behind being skeptical. Now, the moon landing, I don't think... I'm leaning more towards it was staged more than anything, because I've got more questions than I do have answers.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning behind that, is I've got more questions than I have answers to those questions.
Right.
You know, we're now in 2022. We're in whatever century we're in. We have the technology nowadays. I have more technology on my fucking Samsung watch on my wrist, you know, in computing power than they did back in the fucking 60s.
Yep.
Like, how can I have that such little device and yet we put a man on the moon and we haven't been back there, even if it is just as a big, you know, NASA does it as a project, as a big fuck you to the world, saying, no, we can do it and you can't. You know, just as bragging rights, essentially.
Yeah.
So why can't we go back there? That's my biggest question. Yeah, it would cost a lot of money, but fuck, you know, Elon Musk sends a space rocket up to fucking inner space, you know, once a week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yet we can't put a man on the moon doing a fucking Facebook live stream or something, like. You know,
I don't think they do a Facebook live stream, but yes, I get what you mean.
So that's my thing. I'm still skeptical on both. I'm not here nor there, but I do like the point of a conspiracy theory with them two especially.
Yeah. Well, Aden had another one lined up, so let's give him the stage once more. Aden, give us the next one.
Speaking of dickheads that think things are what they're not, flat earthers.
Oh god, here we go. Flat earthers. I love this one because it just pisses me off. Wait, why would I love it? Anyway, Aden, kick us off. Flat earth conspiracy theory, please. Why is this one?
Well, let's talk about how, for one, they don't think Australia exists and that we're all paid actors. I'd like to know where my money's gone.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And just... It's really crazy how many people actually believe this and how many people are converting over to it.
Well,
so do you know how many Americans that would be?
I'm gonna go with most of them are Americans.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially Flat Earth Society would be majority American, right?
Mm-hmm.
Americans. Their third fucking most populated religion is the fucking religion of the flying spaghetti monster or whatever the fuck it is. Or believe that fucking brown chocolate milk comes from brown cows or something. Like, Americans are just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But I'll give you this, right? I found it on TikTok. Now, do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, scientist, whatever. He said, if you take the world, Earth, and you shrink it down to the size of a cue ball, you know, the white ball in pool.
Yeah.
If you shrink it down to the size of a cue ball with all its mountains and valleys and everything else, it will be perfectly spherical. It will be more spherical than anything ever machined by a man.
Right.
Now you think about that with all the hills and valleys that we have in the world, and if you shrunk it down to the size of a cue ball, it will be perfectly spherical. Now, if we lived in a flat Earth, right, then how the fuck could that happen?
Alright, I was wondering where you were going with that, and I'm so glad that that's what you said. But, yeah, I'd never actually heard of Tyson saying that.
Yep.
But
That blew my mind. I've seen it twice in a few days on TikTok, but how fucking wild is that?
that is
When you've
fucking
got-
wild.
What did he say? He said if you got Mount Everest versus, I don't know, not the Marianas Trench, but you got like Mount Everest versus another fucking low point in the world that we have, the difference is something like 11 feet.
It's not much actually when you think about it.
From the highest point to the lowest point, I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that is wild.
Well, so Aden, what is there about this conspiracy theory that we really need to cover that won't make us go insane?
Well, so you wanted to know statistics on how many people believe the Earth is flat. Now, Americans are the issue. So Jordan is correct.
Yes, we kind of figured, no offense to Americans or any American listeners, but you have some pretty stupid people.
Okay, and so the majority of these people are the woke society, so the new fucking 18 to 24-year-old kids out there.
Right.
Right? Now, this is how many people believe the Earth is round, right? 55 plus, 94% of them believe the Earth is round.
Yep.
45 to 54, 85%. 35 to 44, 82%. 25 to 34, 76%.
Oh, wait, no. Stop for a second. Our age group is 76, but what the fuck?
This is in America, though.
Yeah, but that's our age group. What the fuck?
18 to 24 is 60%.
Ow.
So
What?
nearly half of that age group thinks that the Earth is flat.
Holy fuck. Stay in school, kids.
Well, obviously, the American fucking system isn't teaching them much, is it?
No, but
I guess too, if we were in America, you wouldn't be able to learn much between the threat of bomb threats and fucking gun violence.
Oh my god, Jordan.
You don't know if you're going to get blown up or shot at school today, so you probably won't learn anything.
Just saying, though, religion's the issue. According to this poll, religion is the issue. So 52% of flat earthers are very religious. 23% are somewhat religious. 8% not very religious, and 17% not religious at all.
So what religion would lead people to believe the earth is flat? Does it state this information, Aiden?
The flying spaghetti monster.
I
Why
don't.
the hell would I know that? I'm not fucking. I'm as
ju-
far as it comes
no.
from religious.
No. In this, because you obviously got some statistics in front of you. Does it state at all anywhere what this religion is?
Not really.
Okay, so that helps a lot. I'm trying to remember from what I've remember of the Bible when I've read it once.
Here. This is all I've got here. Is it's hard to know for sure the underlying causes prompting a belief in flat Earth for different segments of Americans, but apparently nothing to do with religion or the Bible. The Bible that we know states anywhere about a flat Earth.
Yeah, that's like I said. I was trying to remember something. If there was something in the Bible that would possibly lead to it, but considering I read it years back and I'm not a very religious person that even owns a copy of the Bible in their home, that's a very hard thing for me to do. Yeah. Fuck, that's wild.
Is religion a conspiracy theory?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
it would be
It has to be.
because you've got a lot of people like agnostics and atheists. Well, agnostics believe in a god but not religion, and atheists believe there's no god. So I'd say religion, or maybe not religion's the conspiracy, God's the conspiracy.
Ooh,
That's a really interesting way to put it. I like that.
that is a
Well,
very
you
interesting
think
way to
about
put
it, because you've got two sides basically, and then you've got the ones in the middle, like me, who's an agnostic. But basically two sides where half don't believe in God and the other half do believe in God.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure you just pissed...
Are we going on to religion now?
Sure.
Sure. I mean, you probably just pissed off the... What percentage of it of flat earthers that were religious again?
52%, that's insane.
50... So you probably just pissed off over half of the flat earthers population.
I don't care.
But...
To be fair, I don't think a flat earther's going to listen to an opinionated Aussie podcast.
Oh, you never know. They probably want to listen to us to see if our accent sounds any American, has any American in it whatsoever, just to try to prove that we are.
Oh no, Adrian! Don't say that.
I don't know what the fuck are you doing? What?
That's how Americans think that we sound when we say the word no.
Really?
Yep. It's like NOIR. It's like no.
Oh my god! I'm gonna go fucking neck myself.
Kimmy, look at me, Kimmy.
I think.
Why?
Oh my god! This is stereotype that I did not need to know about. It was bad enough that Americans say shrimp on the Barbie. I didn't need this today.
Yep.
Alright. I don't have anything to add to the religion thing. I've never been a big believer, so this is all up to you two, unfortunately.
Well, I worked with a Jehovah's Witness when I lived in Brisbane, which both of you know. And he used to go to church on a Thursday night.
Yep.
And so on a Friday, being the last day of the week, me being it's fucking Friday, cunts, woohoo, in a bit of a smarty-ass mood, would question him on a lot of shit.
Yep.
And I can't fucking stand religious people at the best of times. But anyway, this was a special exception because I used to get a kick out of his responses. And I asked him, I said, you're a Jehovah's Witness, okay? What is the difference between Jehovah's Witness, a Buddhist, a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim, fucking Church of the Latter-day Saints, all that sort of shit? What is the difference? And he couldn't tell me. He goes, I can't tell you about all these. I can only tell you about being a Jehovah's Witness. Okay.
I can tell you the difference between them all.
Let me finish. So my theory is, which I think is a pretty good fucking theory, my theory is originally if there was a God and then there was this scribe of God and who wrote down, essentially wrote the first Bible, I'm using air quotations, Bible. If we all read the Bible, I mean, you, Adrian, and myself, if we all three of us read that Bible, all three of us would get a different interpretation of what that book said. If that book said, love thee before love he, right? What would you interpret that passage to be?
Love thee before love he. So
yeah, it doesn't. That's not in the Bible, I don't think. I'm just using that as a very would that be love yourself before you love someone else? Would that be, love thee, which could mean love a female before you love a man, because being a male is a sin, loving a man is a sin, or rah. But my point is, the three of us could read the exact same paragraph of a book and interpret it three different ways.
Well,
So
I mean,
do you think that is why all 50,000 different religions have come about, is because they've read the same passage in the Bible and interpreted a different way?
well, I mean, when you look at what you use, love thee before love he. So you gave two. I can give you a third example so that we can even it out. Love God before you love yourself.
Yeah.
So complete devotion to God before you work on your own person. So that's three alone, and I'm pretty sure I can think of a fourth and a fifth alone from that, and that's not even in the Bible. So yes, I can understand interpretation is a big thing, and it only takes, I don't know how many different religions there are in the world. I think there's fucking hundreds of different religions. It's just that they're all varying in sizes. And they're all varying in size and believers and opinions and whatnot. Hey, I did the thing, opinion. That's the podcast. Hey. But...
Adrian, you're a wanker.
Thank you. But, yeah, you're right. It all comes down to interpretation. But where did the Bible come from, first of all? You can't, get all these interpretations without something to go from. Was it the Bible that these interpretations come from? And if so, where did the Bible come from?
Well, like I said in the beginning of my tangent, you had God and the scribe of God. Now, let's say that is true. That is where the Bible come from, was the scribe of God.
Yeah. Well,
Aden, what's your thoughts?
I hate religion. Well, I do. I cannot stand religion. I don't care if you're religious.
short,
I've grown
sweet.
a hatred towards it because of, for one, how many different versions are there of the bloody Bible? And I'm not saying with the different religions. I'm saying in Christianity, there's so many different types.
Yeah.
No, well, there's only two. There's the Old Testament and the New Testament.
That's true. But why is there... But in this one religion, why is there two versions of the same book?
No.
Yeah, there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which I think is the Old Testament. Then you've got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, something in Deuteronomy in the New Testament.
Okay, so with so many manuscripts and different translation philosophies, we have about 50 main versions of the English Christian Bible today.
50?
Yeah, right.
Fucking hell.
Then I go into more, and it says a number of biblical canons have since evolved. Christian biblical canons range from 73 books of the Catholic Church and 66 book canon of most Protestant denominations. So there's a whole bunch of different.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And
that's what I mean.
That's insane. But the question is, why is there so many with these particular religions? You said 50 alone for Christianity, and what, over 70 for Catholic?
Well, so under Christianity, there's the Protestant Bible, there's the Catholic Bible, which is actually different because the Catholics still believe that Jesus is on the cross and didn't reawaken.
So that's the difference between Christianity and Catholics, right?
Yeah. Christianity believes that Jesus was resurrected and then fucking left, and Catholics believe he's still on the cross.
Right. You see, as someone who, technically has Catholic heritage, even though my family hasn't been Catholic for years, I didn't know the fucking difference. I've never learnt the difference between the two. That's interesting to me. Holy shit. Sorry, carry on, boys. Whew.
But yeah, then you've got, Scientology, which is another big one. But I'm not big on religion. I know about it. I had to learn religion when I was in primary school. It was part of the curriculum, and Mum didn't want to set me out for, religion, so it was whatever. But it's still something that, for me, interests me because it gets me to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, you boys know what I'm like. I'll ask 1.5 million questions on just about any fucking topic because I like to know fucking everything. I'm like a sponge, man, with information. You know, like even at work, if fucking something about work that has got nothing to do with my role at work, I'll still ask 1.5 million questions because it's, you know, something that interests me. You know, I'll fucking, you know, video games really aren't, they're sort of my thing now, but, you know, I'll sit there and, you know, pick Adrian's brain about fucking different, you know, games and, you know, questions about the games.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a SpongeBob.
Exactly. Except I don't have SquarePants. I'm SpongeBob Round.
SpongeBob Round Dick.
Round Pants.
No, Round Dick.
No, Small Dick.
Oh, okay. SpongeBob Small Dick. That nose does compensate for something.
But yeah, you know, like I don't.
It's very hard to put into words, isn't it?
When it comes to religion, I think we are perfectly further away from the sun that we don't freeze. We're perfectly close to the sun where we don't melt. So it makes me think, you know, us as a human race, we're put here. Could be for a test, but you know, we're put here to serve a purpose. You know, it's a chance of this life happening on this planet where we've got enough oxygen to breathe, we've got enough water to sustain ourselves, and you know, we're perfectly positioned in the position we are. Something had to happen for this earth to be positioned perfectly for us to live.
I mean,
now, whether that was a higher being or it was the meteor that fucking caused an ice age and you know all that sort of shit, depending, you know, whatever you believe in, but that baffles my mind. How can this be it?
Yeah. So in a way, you sort of believe in a way of there's a higher power that is unknown. You wouldn't say God, but it's something. Correct?
Yeah. There's something out there that, you know, when you even have a little bit of faith, or you know, when your car's on its last legs and you're driving it somewhere, you're like, please don't break down on me. You know, you're praying to something, and you know, your car doesn't break down. You're like, oh, thank heavens, or whatever. You know, that's obviously just a saying, but you know, you're just like thankful for something. Not, you know, necessarily saying there's always going to be that sort of higher being or power, but it also gives you faith to believe in something, whether it's, you know, yourself or a higher being or whatever.
Yeah.
Which you're an agnostic. That's exactly what an agnostic is. You don't necessarily believe in a religion, but you believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like, I don't like religion. I despise religious people because I just think they're some of the most judgmental fucking assholes you'll ever have.
Oh, fuck me.
You know, how can someone that I've, you know, worked with be religious yet drink and swear and carry on and smoke cigarettes and smoke the Gandhi and shit, but still go to fucking church on a Sunday? Like, fuck me.
I think the word you're looking for is they're fucking hypocritical.
That's the word you're looking for. Yep, hypocritical.
Thanks for the big word, Aden.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
He's got he's got a couple of tabs up. He's got conspiracy theories on a couple, and on the last one, he's got a thesaurus that he uses to look up the big words.
Easy money.
Word of the day.
No. There's a toilet paper for that. It has a big word on every slice. So, anything else for the religion? Because I actually have a very interesting conspiracy theory we can move on to.
I've got a feeling you might have hooked on when I did. I don't know. We'll see what yours is. But
mine's the CIA and AIDS.
Oh, you're definitely not mine.
So, have you heard of this one? This one's a little fucked.
Well, it obviously is because it's AIDS.
Yeah. So the CIA, apparently, in this conspiracy theory, created AIDS in a way to wipe out African Americans and homosexuals.
Oh.
Even today, the conspiracy theory has a high number of high-profile believers. South African President, how do you pronounce that? Thabo Mbeki, once touted the theory, disputing scientific claims that the virus originated in Africa, and accused the US government of manufacturing the disease in military labs. So, what do we think?
Aden, you take the stand.
Look, I think that's a very good possibility, to be honest.
Well, let's keep in mind the era that this apparently was made. So, hang on, let me have a look at this. So, the virus jumped from monkeys to humans sometimes to the 1930s. There is evidence that that is what happened. However, this is believed to have really kicked off, like the AIDS being transitioned to humans, by the CIA. Apparently, it was a big thing that started happening around the era where homophobia and racism was king in the States. Like, we're looking decades and decades back. And the reason that they did it was to wipe out the homosexuals to start. The start of it was the gays. So any LGBTQ plus people that listen to us, this conspiracy theory does not like you at all. But it also was very racist and wanted America to be an all-white country, deleting and, killing practically anyone of color. So, fucked is a good word to use here, am I correct?
It's fact.
It's fucked. And I bet you've both never heard of this one.
Oh, I've heard of it before, but I've never really delved into it.
Well,
I have heard of it.
The reason I've been really quiet throughout the whole religion thing, I was listening, but I was doing research into it because I saw the title of this one, and I'm like, excuse me? So I did research into it. It's like, the more I read into it, the more fucked it gets. Like, just imagine AIDS was manufactured in a military lab by the CIA just because of racism and homophobia. Like, that's next level fucking shit right there. What about you, Jordan? What have you got? You gonna add to that one? What do you think of it?
How can I put this? That's hard for me to believe for the fact that I relate AIDS being a transmitted disease from a
Monkeys.
Yeah, from a monkey, from a non-human species.
Yeah.
The same way that you would believe that coronavirus come from, eating a raw bat or whatever.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I'm on the CDC website at the moment, and HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus.
Yep.
So it's a virus that attacks the body's immune system.
Yep.
So it's not the only autoimmune system virus that there is.
Mm-hmm.
You've got lupus, which is what Mum has, which is an autoimmune disease which attacks her immune system. Same thing with Raynaud's, which is what Gary had, attacks their immune system, which is not HIV or AIDS. Now, where did it come from? It's saying that the infection came from a type of chimpanzee in Central Africa. Studies show that HIV may have jumped from chimpanzees to humans as far back as the late 1800s. Now, if you think about that timeline, right, the 1800s,
yep,
there was no
Central Intelligence Agency.
no. There was no information about sexual activities between humans at that point. There was no sexual preventative measures, right?
Yep.
So it could be a fucking possibility that someone fucked a chimpanzee and then fucked a human.
Lovely.
So you obviously get where I'm going with this. That
There's evidence that this
The next
started way
time-
before the time period that this conspiracy theory says the CIA
Exactly.
did it.
yes, exactly. So the mix of DNA or genetic makeup, it is far different and obviously clashes, and that's why we have that virus, because it jumps from an animal to a human.
Basically, it gives the human a disease that wasn't built for a human in the first place.
Exactly right. That's why we've got the flu, which is a derivative from the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
The common cold, which they're bacterial and viral infections.
And then there's the
Yeah,
most
that-
recent one, which is Corona, which we still don't know where it came from, technically.
Exactly, but there's still and I did dabble and was quite heavily thought that it was made in a lab in China, but which still is a possibility.
And there's
But I just
still
don't
also
think that is true.
and there's still also the possibility that that came from a bat. But let's stick to the AIDS and the CIA for this one, shall we?
Yeah, I know, but you also got to think too. How many, I guess, not studies, but how many cases there have been of humans fucking farm animals and impregnating farm animals, and this farm animal comes out as some fucking genetic fucked up thing, and if someone was to do that and then go fuck someone of the opposite sex, then that you know where I'm saying, the DNA does not mix. And that's where the sort of viruses and stuff come from.
There is so much to unpack from what you've said. I'm still trying to process the idea of how many people out there have fucked animals. That's still going through my head.
Well, I don't know. I saw it on Facebook when we were fucking young as, of a fucking half pig, half fucking human thing that a guy in like fucking I want to say Asia. I don't know where in Asia, but in Asia somewhere, fucked a pig and it come out like a pig with a fucking human head.
Yeah. I think I remember what you're talking about. I remember seeing that somewhere. I
Like
think
some
that was-
sort of fucking pig humanoid thing. Like, that sort of shit should never fucking happen.
No.
And yet these sick, twisted people do it.
Yeah.
And you know where I'm going with that sort of AIDS thing. Like, I don't think it was made in a lab.
No.
It quite possibly could have, but back in the 30s, they would have done something to mass genocide the indigenous persons, whether they were African American or indigenous
Indian,
Americans or whatever.
Yeah.
So they could have done that, but I don't think HIV is the answer.
No, but
But being given that too with homosexuals, it's still back in the 30s and 40s. The sexual health knowledge was still not there. So you could have had I'd use this term loosely, a slut, a male slut, that could have gone and fucked 100 different other males, and you're sticking your penis into essentially feces, and if you were to do that 3 or 4, have different guys every night, then you're obviously going to transmit some sort of fucking disease, because there's no sexual health knowledge on it back in those days.
no, there
So
wasn't.
there was no, hey, after you have sex, you both need to pee to prevent infections.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So back in those days, because there's no knowledge of any of that, that could be a possibility.
Very true. So I'm guessing with that, we can move on to the next one, but I'll ask the big question. So I'm guessing from that, Jordan, you do not believe that conspiracy theory.
No, I don't. I think there's a scientific answer that will debunk that.
Awesome. Aiden, what do you think after Jordan's tangent?
I'm kind of on the fence about it. Look, I think there's definitely a possibility of it, especially back then when racism and all that played a massive part. But look, I think that one. I'm very open to the idea that is true, but I lean closer to the fact that it's probably not true.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Aiden. The only reason I would sort of believe it is because of the fact that, back then, homophobia and racism was accepted. It was the norm, and it was okay back then. It's not okay, like, in any sense of the word, but back then, it was viewed as okay. So this is something I can believe would happen, but like Jordan said, there is enough. There would probably be a scientific explanation to perfectly debunk the fuck out of it, and I'm okay with that. So, do you have another one? Because I've got a list here I can work with, and I've got another one that I'm already lining up. What about you two?
Go for it,
Jordan.
There's a couple that I want to sort of touch on, but I don't know if you guys know too much on it. One would be New World Order.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit. Go on.
Cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding?
Yeah, cloud seeding.
Okay, so from the reaction me and Aiden gave, that one is a no. We do not know shit.
Right. So essentially, the conspiracy theory behind cloud seeding is that the government back in the 1980s developed a machine essentially to make low-level clouds that produce rain, right?
Right.
So just like when you think when a rocket takes off, all that cloud that comes out is essentially just steam, because under a rocket ship there's a pool of water that helps stop the burn of that rocket fuel. So they've looked at that and have gone, I reckon I can make a machine that can make those sort of clouds. And so they've apparently designed this machine to make these low-level clouds that can do that, right? And
Yep.
what a lot of people are starting to think, especially in Australia, after the unusual, very, very early wet season we had, we're starting to think maybe they're cloud seeding to get all this fucking all this rain to wash all the fucking crops out, so that way they can jack the price up of the crops and control the people a lot easier. When people are hungry and desperate, they're easier to control. That's where New World Order comes into it, is a government conspiracy, nonetheless. And when you look at, us in Australia on the East Coast have had this very early and very large wet season of sorts. That's very unusual. The ground's not used to it, so it didn't soak up any of the water. It just all the water just pooled up and just flooded big parts of the East Coast and the inland East Coast. And that's what the government's wanted. That's why lettuce went to $12 a head in some places in the East Coast of Australia, was because a lot of the lettuce crops were destroyed. Now, I think that is so far-fetched it's beyond recognition, because the scientific behind it is that we had our wet season. So you both know we have La Nina and El Nino.
Yep.
Yes.
Which comes from, for us on the East Coast, comes from the Pacific Ocean. So when we have our wet season, it's La Nina. So all of our rain gets heated up from the ocean, and then the clouds come along and then come to the East Coast, and that's how that's formed with all that sort of weather stuff. And El Nino is the southern side of it. So when we're in an El Nino, which is our drought period, our dry period, America is wet because they're there on the other side of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
So when we're in our dry period, a lot of our dryness comes from Antarctica, or the wind comes up through the Bight and up that way.
Yeah.
Where we're in the opposite, I can't remember what it's called, but where we're in the opposite, it comes from the north.
Yep.
And that's where our rain essentially comes from. But a lot of people are saying, you know, especially after COVID, inflation's through the roof, and, you know, the housing market and wages and all that sort of stuff. Everything is skyrocketing, and it's making it unbearable for the average person to live. And that's where they reckon the government has to come in and created these clouds to flood everything, to essentially, and quote unquote, put us on our knees, so that way we will conform to what the government has to say.
Another rather fucked theory, but yeah, I can understand why the theory exists at all. We can say that.
Yeah. I don't agree with the theory, but I can understand why people would think that.
Yeah.
I mean, for everyone in the world, the last couple of years has been absolutely hell for everyone.
Yeah.
So I can understand why the theory exists, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, gonna have to agree with you on this one. That sounds a bit too far-fetched, even for me. Aden?
I agree with Jordan. I think it's bullshit. I don't think that's. I get it. I get, you know, the questions, I guess, that would come from it, but I don't think. I disagree with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It just too far-fetched. Even for the biggest conspiracy nut, I think that's just a bit too far, personally.
Well, see, you know how you can like long hold on a TikTok and not interested? Yeah, I don't know why, but a lot of that sort of conspiracy theory stuff come up on my TikTok, and I was just like, I started watching videos on it, you know, because, you know, let the cat out of the bag, you know, Schrodinger's cat type of thing. I'm like, I just want to learn what these people think, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just, nah, for me, that's too far-fetched.
Alright, so we're immediately going with a big no from all three of us on that one. So I guess that leads...
It's still interesting to hear, though.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it's rather intriguing to hear all this, like, all these theories that we've talked about today. They are interesting to talk about, whether you believe in them or not. That's the big thing.
It makes you go through stages. Hey, when you don't believe it, nah, it can't be true, and then you're like, oh, maybe it is, and then you dabble a bit more in it, and then you get a bit scared. You're like, oh fuck, is this actually how it is?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, and then you go through stages of, no, surely not. Like, pardon me, I remember I did the same thing when COVID first came out. Oh man, I thought it was just a fly. I didn't give a fuck. Oh, what is this? And I was like, oh shit, no, this is actually really serious. Fuck, right? Let's see. You know, what have I got to do? Wear a mask and wash my hands all the time, and, you know, get me vaccination and that sort of stuff. And that, yeah, then I started to come around and actually look into the biology side of things.
Yep.
And yeah, that's where I look at science. And, you know, when you talk about science in a lot of these conspiracy theories, science answers the question that you're willing to ask.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? And they give you a clear, straight as an arrow, straight down the line answer. You know, why does this person, you know, feel this way? And they're, oh, they feel this way because of this neuron is not firing in their brain, and that's making them feel like this. You're like, oh, right, thanks for that. You know, they're obviously different analogy, but still the same.
Yeah. Well, I guess that leads us to the next one that I've got on my list. Unless you've found one since Jordan's New World Order and Cloud Seeding. Have you found another one, or?
I've got, there's a whole list of stuff on here, but I I think we're probably a lot of it's gonna be the same
Yeah.
as each other. So you just go and I'll give my 2 cents on what you're talking about.
Right. So this one, I've got two here. I've got two that I want to do. One is super out there, like fucking bonkers, fucking to the balls to the wall, crazy. And then you got another one that isn't as crazy, still crazy, but not as crazy, but also has some merit. I kind of want to do the really crazy one. Reptilian Elite.
What?
The Reptilian Elite. It's what this one's called. You want me to like read the passage to you, like just to get you all caught up on it? It's a bit. This one's like crazy.
Human lizard?
Yeah. So
Nah. Big no. No, thank you. Nah.
you don't want me to go into this one?
I don't need to hear anymore. That is fucking bullshit. That is no way in the world. This thing ever.
Oh, come on! It's a theory. It's gonna be funny. Let me get into it. Come on.
Yeah, go on, Adrian. Get
Yeah.
it.
All right. I'll read the article for it. So, hang on. I don't want to do a voice, but I kind of want to do a voice because it starts fucked up. They are among us. Blood-drinking, flesh-eating, shape-shifting, extraterrestrial reptilian humans with only one objective in their cold-blooded little heads: to enslave the human race. So the whole thing about this theory, I'm not going to go any further than that. That's a good enough fucking drawing as it is. That's the eye catch. Basically, corporate executives, leaders, actors, singers, everything, right? They are the ones in charge. They are the shape-shifting humanoid reptilians. They are the cause of such things as the Holocaust, the bombings in Oklahoma, the 9/11 attacks, everything. Right? They are behind all catastrophes because they are trying to control the human race. They feed off of the technical term that they use in like murder cases is the less dead. So these are people that can go missing and no one would care. And they literally feed off of these people while the rest of us live normal lives under their rule. That's the theory. Now I'm gonna go, Jordan does not fucking believe in it. But
it's fucking so far-fetched, man.
I know, but here are some names of who this, like the person who wrote this, these are people that they believe could be these reptiles. You got George Bush, you've got Bill and Hillary Clinton, you got Bob Hope, you got the late Queen Elizabeth. Like, you're talking like the head honchos all over the world. This is so fucking stupid. The more I read, the more I can't help but laugh. So,
sort of, when you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
That reminds me of Tommy McDonald's song. I can't remember what song it is, but he says, you know, who runs the world, and it's the Bushes, the Royals, the Rothschilds, and someone else. And that to me is what the world's elite are.
Yeah.
Is that's who runs the world. I don't think they're fucking lizardoid things.
They're lizardoid shapeshifters to look like humans.
Ugh. I mean, it probably, but look, the Queen and Prince fucking Philip, I think it was, do look like fucking lizards, but that's just because they look like fucking, they're 170 years old and got alligator skin. But yeah, no, that's just too wacky. Like,
oh god!
If you want to talk about the world elites, yeah, let's talk about them. You know, Bill Gates and Bushes and Clintons and Royals and the Rothschilds. Like, have you heard about the story of the Rothschilds?
I think we've touched on it before, but I don't want to go off this topic yet because I haven't heard Aden yet. I'm sorry.
I believe it.
What?
Oh, fuck yeah. Mate, you think about it, right? Out of all these planets, there's got to be something else out there. And it would not surprise me if these creatures came to our world and shapeshifted into these. I'm joking. I don't believe any of it.
Oh my fucking god, you gave me a fucking hard. I actually was sitting here like, wait, this cunt for real?
No,
What?
I don't. But don't get me wrong. I believe in aliens. I just don't believe that these reptilian creatures are.
Controlling the human population.
Yes.
So
I mean, look, I'm happy to be proven wrong. But
I'm sorry, you'd be happy to be proven wrong.
yeah, right. I'd be happy to be proven wrong.
To be fair, the only reason I brought it up is because I find it so fucking hilarious, and I just wanted something that we could all sit here, also go fuck no on. But come on, you have to have a bit of a kick out of that one, both of you. I mean, Aden got a kick out of it, he just made a joke. But Jordan, come on, even you have to admit, it can't be real, but that's silly. That's funny as shit.
Aden is a joke.
Aden is a what?
Joke.
Oh, poor Aden.
The funniest one out there, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, at least he owns
I
it.
don't know about that. Trauma builds character, man.
Yeah. So, but there is another one to follow up on that. It's sort of in the same vein, less crazy. And like I said, it is still crazy. But that is the secret societies control the world. So I believe that's where the Rothschilds come into play, as well as the Illuminati.
No, that's like a new world order, isn't it?
It could be.
It could be. So, yeah, literally the first example that this list has here is the Illuminati. It actually doesn't bring up New World Order at all. Interesting. But I would imagine that New World Order would fall into secret societies controlling the world.
Yeah.
But,
Here, look. The New World Order theory states that a group of international elites controls governments, industry, and media organization with the goal of establishing global. I can't fucking read that.
sorry.
I don't
You're
know
the
what
smartest one here, and you can't read it. Wow.
Yeah, I cannot read. Hegemony, Adrian.
Hang on, I'll type it out.
Hee-hee.
Heg
EMONY.
EOM
fuck.
NMY. Hegemony?
Hegonomy?
Hegonomy,
No,
yeah.
no, it can't be hegonomy. There's no N.
A conspiracy theory is a... no, wait.
No, there is no N. Hegonomy.
Yeah, where's the hegonomy? There's no nominee. There's
Hang on.
Yeah.
hegemony.
So, hegemony, I believe it's hegemony, actually. Hang on.
Hegemony.
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 Okay. Is the political, economic, and military predominance of one state over other states. There you go. That's what it means.
Well, dictionary from Oxford says leadership or dominance, especially by one state or social group of others.
That's pretty much what I just said.
Yeah, but I said it different.
Ooh, look at you, fancy pants over here. Ooh, he's getting real smart on us. Anyway, so would you say would the Rothschilds fall into a secret society controlling the world? Though, would you believe that?
I reckon they're the first ones that controlled the world.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I guess this one's more yours then, because you wanted to talk about the Rothschilds.
Yeah, but Aden knows a bit about them too.
Yeah,
About the Rothschilds, they're like they own like all the fucking world banks, don't they?
Yeah, they
in a nutshell.
own 5 out of 7 or something of the world's banks.
Yeah.
The only 2 they don't own are one in the UAE, I think, and one in China.
Yeah, because why would China give up anything?
Yeah.
The Rothschilds are derived from America, so
Yeah. But
that's why even though America's a third world country with a Gucci belt on, they still think America's, a powerhouse in the global economy.
I love that I love that how you describe America, a third world country with a Gucci belt. It's like French kiss. It's French kiss levels of descriptions right there.
Oh, it is, man. And that, America. I'm going on a tangent here. America fucking shits me off, especially their tipping culture. Like, fuck me, these entitled fucking brats in America think that, because you go out and spend $100 at this restaurant, right? Oh, yeah. And the restaurant's not paying the server any more than fucking $1.70 to an hour, right? You then need to tip to fucking cover their wage. Like, no fucking way you can't. Increase your fucking prices, just like we've done here in Australia. Increase your fucking prices and pay your servers a living fucking wage. Stop being such a greedy piece of fucking shit and pay your people a living fucking wage. Who in their right mind would want to go over to America on, say, a working visa and fucking work for $2 an hour?
Yeah, not me, thanks.
I wouldn't get out of bed for $2 an hour.
Not worth it. I mean, not here in Australia. If you got paid $2 an hour here in Australia, you'd be in a fucking riot right now.
Oh, exactly. Like, it's fucking the US economy, because there's so many people over there, and, the amount of money that gets spent over there is fucking ridiculous. But if you're a fucking mum and dad restaurant and you can't afford to pay your fucking workers, $15 an hour, all because Americans are so fucking stupid and think a quarter pounder burger is better than a third pounder burger because a 4 is bigger than a 3. That's the sort of fucking intelligence that you got to fucking gather from the average American. Like, I literally read a burger place closed down in America. They opened up a burger place where they were selling one-third pound burgers, right? Yeah. So a third of a pound. They were selling them burgers, and they went out of business because a lot of Americans were thinking a quarter pounder burger was bigger than a third pounder burger.
See, even saying it out loud, I know that a third pound burger would be bigger. Just
exactly.
Hearing it.
A third is 0.33. A quarter is 0.25.
Yeah.
Americans think that a third is smaller because a 3 is smaller than a 4. That's why this burger chain went out of business.
America are living in the fucking Stone Age with all their fucking measurements and shit, and fucking the temperature outside. Fuck, the rest of the world's gone with fucking Celsius. Get out of the fucking Fahrenheit shit.
Yeah, I remember trying to figure out ages ago the conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit just because I wanted to know what the fuck they were on about over in America when they described their temperature in TV shows. That was the only reason I ever learnt what Fahrenheit and the conversion to Celsius was. And even to this day, I still don't fucking understand it.
Do you guys even know the name of the units of measurement?
For
metric.
Yes. So metric is, you think of it millimeters.
Yeah.
Metric is in millimeters. Imperial is in inches.
Yeah.
So imperial is miles per hour and degrees Fahrenheit and inches and feet and miles and shit.
Yeah. See, when Americans say that they don't understand like centimeters and all that, I think the best response is, at least when we do our measurements, the rest of the world besides you dumb cunts understand us.
Well, see, with metric, it goes up in denominations of 10.
Yeah.
10 millimeters to a centimeter. 10 centimeters, so on and so forth. 1,000 centimeters to a meter, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
In America, it's like 12 inches to a foot and fucking, I don't know, 6 inches to this and fucking 1,360 feet to a mile, quarter mile or something. Like, their conversion rate is fucking weird. The Fahrenheit, I think, is, I'll say 0 because the way that Celsius works is it works on the temperatures of water.
Yep.
So 0 degrees is freezing point, 100 degrees is boiling point.
Yeah.
Where America worked on a different bodily scale. I can't remember what it's called, but I've watched videos on it. And for the human body as sorts, Fahrenheit is better, but as a unit of measurement, Celsius is better.
Yeah.
But I think it's like minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And then it works in on something like that. But yeah, was even I can't remember what launch, whether it was a rocket or a satellite or something, but it only got like a quarter of the way to its destination before it fucked up and blew up or something, because the units of measurement were supposed to be in metric, but they end up using imperial measurements, and it just completely fucked the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah, well, how do we get to this part? Oh, fuck.
Americans are stupid because the tipping culture's fucked.
Yeah. Tipping culture is fucked. Always will be fucked.
The American society don't believe in paying their workers a livable wage.
Yeah. But how do we? What conspiracy theory?
America.
Yeah, let's get off America because that's not a conspiracy.
It was the Rothschilds.
Yeah. Oh, that's how we got to America. Right. Fuck me. God damn it, Jordan. You and your tangents today. Every time you've gone off, it is like hard to get leeway. It's hard to stop you, and you just keep going until you pretty much run out of brain cells to use. Then you let your brain cells build back up. It's like, I have more to say.
What do you mean? My two brain cells are battling each other out.
Is one trying to like let the monkey keep banging its cymbals, and the other one's like, no, let me speak.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
It's like when two minions fight.
Oh, God. I mean, I can even hear their fucking voice right now.
Stuart and King Bob.
King Bob.
King Bob.
Still the best one. Anyway. Actually, now that I think about it, if you ever develop a third brain cell, is it going to be that third minion in that little dynamic?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I can't remember his name.
No, I can't remember either. Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Minion.
Yeah. So do we have more to say on the Rothschilds and the secret societies and whatnot? Or do we have another conspiracy theory we want to dive head first?
It is pretty interesting, that though.
Yes, it is. Secret societies controlling the world. I'm more of a Illuminati than a Rothschild, although it's hard to deny that the Rothschilds do control quite a bit because they physically do. But the Illuminati, that one comes to mind for me. But yeah,
I don't know much about the Illuminati.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm remembering back in the days when, memes used to have those black and white little drawings of little characters, like Trollface, Derpface. Illuminati was big back then, and all it was a goddamn meme. Came with the X-Files theme and everything. So I don't know too much on the Illuminati, but I would imagine that it pops up. What about you, Aden?
Heaps of Illuminati.
Heaps of Illuminati?
Mate, half the fucking celebrities are based... yeah, what was I watching the other day? Something where, like, you'd see a celebrity start to talk about something, then another one would be like, shh, you can't say that.
Yeah.
No, but they were dead serious. They were... we're Illuminati.
Well, Aiden's actually going full balls to the wall with this one. All right.
No, one thing I do believe in is the Illuminati.
Oh, at least you got
something. What Jordan's thoughts are.
I don't know too much on it. Like,
I guess this is where research comes into play. So let's get into that now. I guess.
So, in a historical sense, the term Illuminati refers to Bavarian. What is it? The Bavarian Illuminati, a secret society that operated for only a decade from 1776 to 1785.
Yeah, 1776, Bavaria. It's a part of Germany today, that part of the world. Illuminati is basically the name that's given to, what is it here? Several groups, real, fictitious. Pretty much what Aden said. There's a lot of historical figures that have somehow been connected to the Illuminati, though. That's scary as shit. You got more to say, Aden? I'm currently reading on it.
It's just like...
Explain like I'm 5. What is the Illuminati? Explain like I'm 5.
Oh, God.
Well, it's basically... It's hard to explain. It's...
Because when I'm thinking the Illuminati, I'm essentially just thinking the KKK.
No.
No.
Different.
Completely different. KKK was just...
Not in the sense of the racism, but wearing white sheets and pointy hats to cover their faces.
No, not so much, no. Like Aiden said, it's difficult to explain.
They're basically not so much like a New World Order, but I believe that they're in control of a lot of things that happen in the world and with celebrities and stuff like that. Like when people say celebrities have sold their soul, I believe it's like selling their soul to the Illuminati for fame or continued fame.
Yeah, okay. So I guess a bit like Oprah or Ellen.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. So what about someone like, I guess, Bella Poarch?
Who?
Bella Poarch?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know that M to the B girl?
Yeah, I know Bella, yeah.
What about someone like her where she got overnight success and, you know, now she's fucking a multimillionaire and she's, you know, nowadays there's this new wave of famous, I guess, you know, internet personality famous, all from bobbing her head to a song.
Yeah.
You know, there's a theory that she sold her soul to get famous.
Yeah. Oh, look, she could have. There's heaps of stories about celebrities selling their soul. I don't know where I think it was on TikTok.
So
there was a video of like...
From what I'm reading, the Illuminati are believed to have been behind things like the French Revolution and what's this? The Reign of Terror. It was a period of the French Revolution when, following the creation of the First Republic, a series of massacres and numerous public executions took place in response to revolutionary fervor. So basically, they were the ones behind the French Revolution and then the ones that were trying to squash it, which makes no fucking sense. What? What the fuck? You know, I'm done reading into it. Sorry. That just completely went... Nah. I'll let Aiden continue to take over for this one.
Oh, look, I just think it's celebrities either selling their soul to what people might say is the Illuminati or selling it to
the devil.
I guess. Yeah, like a Satanist sort of cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would we say? So me and Aiden kind of believe in the Illuminati. Aiden a lot. Me not so much.
Jordan, I just don't think Jordan's really heard too much about it to talk on.
Yeah. But after what we've just said, which wasn't a lot, granted, would you believe that the Illuminati is a real thing?
It's yeah, I don't know. It's a definite possibility. Like, don't get me wrong. The amount of overnight celebrities would be the right word, I guess.
Yeah.
The amount of overnight celebrities that there has been, that you think surely something has happened for this person to become who they are, and just from the mediocre, from a mediocre standpoint to that, surely something has happened for them to get publicised the way they do. Bella Porch is one that comes to mind. Catch Me Outside Girl, stuff like that. Not so much Jake and Logan Paul.
No,
but
not so much.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more, I guess, elite than that. Oprah, Ellen, say Eminem, the President of the United States, whether it's fucking whoever they've got now, or Trump or Biden. Oh, that's who they got now. Biden, Barack Obama. People like that is what I would assume would associate with Illuminati. Those real high list, heavy hitters, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have another one to add. Do either of you two?
What about the deep and dark web? Do you think that's a fucking...
The deep dark web? You mean like where there's human trafficking?
The deep and dark web, they're two different things.
The deep and dark web. Where there's human trafficking, live executions, torture.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, stuff like that is... I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy, because it probably does fucking exist, because the amount of sickos that are out there, but...
Oh, yeah.
It's... If you don't know how to get to it, you're probably fucking grateful you don't, but... Yeah. It's just another thing that sort of is making me think that it is questioning it. Does it exist? If it does exist, then, how do people can tell if you're fucking even using a VPN and fucking, whatever. Like, I've heard some, r/creepy Reddit stories of, people actually, not even wanting to find it, but end up finding it, stuff on the deep web. And, the next thing they know, the FBI's at their house, sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I definitely believe it's real. Even though I've never actually been able to find it. Doesn't mean I've actually gone looking for it, but from what I'm able to gather, you have to really, really know where to go to find it.
Yeah.
And to know where to go in the first place is a challenge in of itself, because you've got to find out, you got to get the information to know where to go. Where do you get the information? It's not like there's, research documents and newspaper articles or, all that shit. There's nothing about that available.
Yeah, it's not like you can just Google search how to get to the deep web.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, I can do it right now. I can type in deep dark web on Google and excuse me. And this is what comes up. The description is the dark web. So it's not deep dark, it's just dark web, Jordan, unfortunately.
I didn't say deep dark web.
Deep and dark is what you said.
Yes.
So it's just called the dark web.
Ah.
So the dark web is the World Wide Web content that exists on dark nets, overlay networks that use the internet, but require specific software, configurations, or authorization to access. So even if you know where to go, you need authorization to be able to get into it in the first place. So where the fuck do you get the authorization? Yeah, that's a bit of kerfuckle right there. But I believe there was once a website I came across that could probably fall into this category that I found, where it had recordings of public executions that were done in the Middle East. And they were beheadings. They were not pleasant to watch. I remember, because I'm like, what is this? And it's like, because at the time I was a bit young and naive, and when I saw, you know, the title of the video was called Beheading, I'm sitting there like, there's no fucking way. Clicked on it and started watching it, and I think I still have nightmares of it to this day, because it was a soundless video. There was no sound whatsoever to it. It was just the video itself. And it wasn't like the best quality, like compared to, 1080p alone, it wasn't good. But it was about 480p on YouTube, you'd probably say. So it was rather clear and consistent. And yeah, even thinking about it's making me a bit sick. Yeah, wasn't good. And to this day, I do not remember what that website's called.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, kind of fucked. I won't go into the details of the beheading itself in the video, but if that's what it actually looks like to behead someone, not cleanly, by the way, I'll say it wasn't clean. That's what made it so gross. But if that's what it looks like to do a not clean cut of someone's head, I would rather you just stick me in the guillotine if you're going to do it, thanks. No, thank you, just done, get it over with. Don't care. What about you, Aiden? What about the dark web for you?
I'm a bit like Jordan with Illuminati on this. I haven't done that much research on it.
You've heard of the dark web before, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch, I can't remember what the dude's name was on YouTube, but he used to do like, there were scary stories. I don't think they were true, but it was stuff about like the dark web. I don't think any of the stories were true, but like I think they were probably based off things he'd heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty messed up.
Yeah. I think it sounds like I've had the most experience with the dark web. Unless you've got a story, Jordan, that can go into this conspiracy.
Nah, just shit that I've watched on like TikTok and that. Hey,
Yeah.
a series of old mate that jumped on the fucking dark web and just really weird shit started fucking just started happening to him. Like fucking random knocks on the door and random phone calls on his phone, and he'd answer it, but there'd be nothing on the other line, or breathing, or fucking something, and just like really weird shit started to happen. And yeah, just like he moved and that, and still followed him and shit, and then fucking one day got knocked on the door and these guys come in balaclavas and just pretty much took his laptop and said, "Don't ever fucking search what you searched again," and then fucked off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like took all his fucking laptop and hard drives, and yeah,
See,
like anything that he could use to access the internet, just took it all.
yeah, right. Fuck that. See, what I came across, nothing happened afterwards. So, I don't know the validity of either my story or his. Like, I don't know if I actually found the dark web myself. Because like I said, I only saw like one thing, and it was enough to make me close it all down and, not go near it again. But nothing happened to me afterwards. Whereas, did he even say what it was he found?
Just files.
Just files.
Yeah, like just files on a how can I put it? Yeah, just like it was just on a browser, and there was like thousands of files, and you click in a file, and it open up other files, and you just click into them, and yeah, it was just videos of sort of like CCTV footage, like of someone out in the woods, and then if you watch it long enough, you'll see something. What could be like not human, or a video of someone getting beheaded or something.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, what I found,
Just really random stuff.
yeah, so a beheading oh god. And now I'm just reliving that beheading video. Oh, it's gross. Oh.
Oh, come on, Adrian. It's not fucking bad, you sook.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was about 12 at the time. So, a little traumatic.
That's a long time ago. That was fucking 30 years ago for you.
Well,
Really?
yeah, close. Nearly 20 years ago, actually. A couple of years.
On the topic of people getting fucking caught out about shit, what about like Area 51 and the shit that, you know, these people that allegedly used to work there and now are giving away information and then getting fucking bailed up or something?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Because the thing is, I understand if they get bailed up if they were part of, like, government work and they signed a contract where they, you know, it was a non-disclose. You can't really talk about it once you leave and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I would like to believe it in all that Area 51 shit. Is there anything particular, Aiden, though, that you're thinking of when it comes to this?
Oh, not really. I just when I think Jordan was saying about the, you know, the dude that they came after him after all this shit.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of like shit like that, or like government agencies that have come after people for giving like dodgy, or not dodgy, but like giving classified information out.
Yeah, I could understand if the government goes after people giving out classified information. It's just, it depends on the nature of said information. Because when it comes to Area 51, the first thought we all have is, you know, aliens. Right? Like, I'm not the only one. So if you're someone that used to work at Area 51, you have classified information, you're giving that information out. Is that basically just, you know, and then and the government's not fast enough to silence you? Wouldn't that be enough evidence that, you know, hey, aliens exist and they're currently holding some at Area 51?
Which I fucking actually believe that's nearly fucking 100% plausible.
Same.
So do I.
Oh wow, something we actually all agree on almost unanimously. Cool. But
My question is though, why is it going to be Area 51?
I don't know. Like, of all the names, like, Area 51 just doesn't sound like, when you don't think of aliens, you've never heard of Area 51 before. What the fuck would you think it meant? The 51st area of a state or something? Or what the fuck?
Well, it probably is, but I don't know. That's sort of, you know how magicians use like sleight of hand and show you something, but in actual fact they're doing something else. I think Area 51 might be just a smoke and mirrors show for something else that they got going on somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Like, the world is a fucking big place, and yeah.
I do agree. And I don't know. I believe that, you know, because of the fact that we can't really associate any other name with it, like, Area 51 is just, you know, synonymous with the thought of aliens being held captive and experimented on by the government. Like, I would like to believe that it's actually called Area 51, because just, to me, it makes sense. Yeah, I've got nothing else I really got to add to it, except I hope that they have my Stargate over at Area 51. I'd like to go to other planets, please.
Pretty much.
Yeah, let me go back to my alien overlords. Would explain my whole life. Anyway, so anything else to Area 51?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. You can tell that we're now starting to get to the conspiracy theories that either aren't very interesting or they're so well known that talking about them is not relevant.
Yeah, I'm just still trying to think of something, you know, another conspiracy theory that's, you know, worth talking about.
I mean, there's a bunch of ones that involve missing people that have never been found. I mean, Madeleine McCann comes to mind. Is it McCann or McCain?
I think it's Madeleine McCann. actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is a conspiracy theory. Like, the parents had something to do with it, yada yada. You know that one. But the thing is, what I just said just proves it's not really worth talking about in this episode because we know
Well,
about it.
I think we'd all agree that the parents sold her off to the highest bidder.
Pretty much. Cunts.
I think she got sex trafficked.
Yep. And that's where Epstein came in. And then there's that leads to the other one of Epstein did in fact not kill himself.
No, I don't reckon he did.
Definitely not.
Yeah, there was too many people on the line to be exposed by him that they just had to get rid of him.
Yeah, well, what about that Sheila that come out and said Prince Charles was it Prince Charles?
Was it
Fucking
Charles?
raped her when she was younger. Sexually assaulted her when she was younger.
I don't think was it Charles? That doesn't sound right. I'll have a quick look.
No, that does sound right, but
To me, it doesn't.
It only happened this year. I'm sure it was Prince Charles.
Accusation.
I'd say you're probably spot on. He's a
Yeah.
weird fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It was Prince Charles. My apologies.
Yeah, it was Prince Charles. This chick come out and said he sexually assaulted her when she was younger. And then fucking he got denounced by the Queen, so it was early on this year. And then apparently she dropped the charges like not even 6 months later before it went to trial.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I do remember
she
that.
obviously got a fucking healthy payout to keep her mouth shut.
Wait, Prince Charles? Is in King Charles? Was it Prince Charles that took over for Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the king was accused of rape until not that long ago this year, and then the Queen dies, and he takes the throne, even though she did. That's just fucked up in its own right when you think about it.
Sorry, it's Prince Andrew.
That makes more sense.
Prince Andrew.
That makes more sense. That really
So,
does.
16th of February, 7 News article. Police launch investigation into Prince Charles charity a day after Prince Andrew. What's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince Andrew.
Okay, that makes more sense, because if it was Prince Charles, I would like to say, one, the fucker's about to keel over and die.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's Prince Charles' son. Charles and Camilla is their son.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Prince Andrew was apparently really good friends with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah. Fuck, the amount of people that were friends with Epstein. I mean, you got, like, the Clintons, Trump, fucking, jeez. It's a bit of a shit show, that one. Any other, like, smaller and shorter conspiracy theories, or you reckon that's it?
Well, I don't know whether it's a conspiracy theory or not, but I heard that this bloke, Adrian Gray, was transgender. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or not.
Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It's not true. I will never, ever, 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 ever.
Aden, what's your thoughts?
I think that the man in question's just trying to cover up things. I think it's completely true.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just not 100% sure, you know?
Very very convenient, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, definitely. Uses all these other, what's the word I'm looking for? Hospital admissions and surgeries just to cover up the truth.
I know. It's very strange.
I bet you he is seething right now, like you could see the steam coming out of his ears.
You're okay,
Hey.
Adrian.
Hey, Adrian, you there?
He's done.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess with that, we're wrapping this up. So that was conspiracy theories. I think we actually did rather well. I think we covered how many? We covered like 10 rather decent sized conspiracy theories and went into them as much as we could, eh? Turns out our tinfoil hats were very well equipped today.
Yeah, exactly. I got plenty of alfoil still, so might have to make it on.
I'm sweating in mine, so I need to go make a new one myself. I'm telling you, tinfoil is not comfortable. It's not well insulated, I swear. So I guess that pretty much is all for today. Thanks, fellas. It's actually good to have all three of us in one for a change. It's been about 2 months since all three of us were able to do one together. But that's what happens when Aden, kind of has to work at 3 different locations at once.
Just being soaked.
Yeah, being soaked. And I guess that's it. I want to thank everyone for listening. You two want to say shit?
Yeah, leave a comment down in the comments or in the podcast notes and let us know what your favourite conspiracy theory is.
Yeah, and give us more to go over with it. Give us your thoughts on if it's real or not, and try to give us as many evidence, I guess is the word we could use, that this conspiracy theory has merits, or as much evidence that it disproves it.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going to go one way, you'd might as well go balls to the wall and give the evidence that supports the way you believe.
Yeah, that's right. Not just a copy and paste from a website too.
Yeah.
Tell me what the actual thing.
And Aden, anything you want to add?
Pretty good, mate.
Pretty good? Alright.
Pretty good.
Alright, I guess that's it for today. Thank you all again for listening. As usual, you can find all of our social medias of any type down below in the description in the YouTube video, or if you go to the description for the episode on Spotify and whatever, there's usually links in that description as well. You can find Aden's links to everything. And you can find me and Jordan over at the Opinionated Aussies Instagram, which is always open, and I'm pretty sure Jordan's always got like a shortcut to it on his phone, so he can look at it whenever he has availability. And that's
something like
that. something like that.
Yeah.
And
something like that.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all again, and we'll see you guys next fortnight for whatever the fuck we come up with next time.
Catch you, cunts.
See you later.